These cops didn't know they were doing something wrong by being a part of a set up and arrest scheme, and none of them were charged.
He worked in plainclothes with uniformed officers. Some of them reported him to their union, which Gramis leads.
What courage it took for our officers.
He says his team immediately took action and informed Metro.
The officers on that squad are receiving quite a bit of criticism for going along with it in the first place.
These are young, impressionable officers.
You're young, impressionable officers? You don't know right from wrong?
What's up, brother? Hey, I'm the sergeant.
Steve Gramis recalls seeing these videos for the first time.
It's pretty surprising as to what the sergeant was doing.
Sergeant Kevin Menon now charged for pushing the officer and creating fake scenarios to target people, mainly black men, to take them into custody as he led a special team on the Las Vegas Strip.
His own teammates turned him in is what they're saying. Really? Then how come he did it so long to so many people?
When am I going to jail?
We'll be out in like 6 hours.
He worked in plainclothes with uniformed officers. Some of them reported him to their union, which Gramis leads.
We kind of started talking about some of the things that they thought didn't seem right.
Shoulder checking people and then making up things and arresting them. He's trying to come off sincere, but they were all in on it together.
Didn't seem like the sergeant had any issue with it. What courage it took for our officers.
They're so brave. You guys are so brave, man. The way you arrested those people that he set up, and then later you said, oh yeah, but we told on you. But didn't you arrest those people? Didn't you at the time go, wait a minute, didn't you just bump into him on purpose? Our cops are so brave what they did, how they came forward after they arrested people for no reason.
He says his team immediately took action and informed Metro, kicking off an internal investigation, a criminal case, and later an indictment against Menon.
The officers on that squad are receiving quite a bit of criticism for going along with it in the first place. What would you say to that?
These are young, impressionable officers. So these young men and women said, hey, I get it. He's our sergeant. He's leading us a certain way, but gosh, something just doesn't pass the sniff test. And so who do we turn to?
God forbid you use that badge of justice. Forget using that. Put a one in the chat if nobody could get you to say, hey, I'm going to pick a fight with somebody else, and then you arrest them. You're young, impressionable officers? Like, what's he talking about?
And they turned to us, thankfully.
No other officers face charges.
Are you confident that this didn't go higher than Menon, that his supervisors did not know this was happening?
Talk about confidence? No. Do I think it was anyone outside of that building, a chief or higher to the sheriff? No. Do I have confidence in that building? No, I didn't.
A captain and lieutenant from Convention Center Area Command testified in front of the grand jury. They claim they were not aware of Menon's criminal behavior. Menon pleaded not guilty Wednesday.
How does this affect policing on the Strip and the view of Metro now?
I don't think it does. I think you look at it from two lenses. One, our cops are going to go out there and they're going to enforce the laws on the Strip. This has put a spotlight on some nefarious actions the supervisor was putting the troops out there to do. So they should feel that with the spotlight on that, they're only going to enforce the proper laws that they're supposed to. And they do that.
They're gonna only enforce the proper laws that they're supposed to, and they do that. He says with an emphatic, they do that. It doesn't seem like that's what they do. It seems like there's a lot of JBTPs right there inside the coppers.
Menon is on unpaid leave from Metro.
Well, he's in more trouble. Now they've caught him with child pornography.
At work as a Metro police sergeant, he's accused of violating people's rights. At home, he's accused of downloading child pornography.
What kind of sick, sadistic pig has child pornography? That is unbelievable. Am I allowed to say that on YouTube China? On YouTube United States government? I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say it or not.
The walls are caving in on Mr. Menon.
Once a Metro police sergeant calling the shots, now in handcuffs after his second arrest. Kevin Menon appearing in Las Vegas Justice Court for 2 new charges related to possession of child pornography.
I don't have any sympathy for child predators. I think this guy should be taken out and dealt with in the most proper way possible.
We'll have this marked and we'll enter it as an exhibit under seal.
Attorneys reviewing evidence in the judge's chambers. Now it's placed under seal. Prosecutors say police found approximately 200 images on laptops Menon used, a combination of child sexual abuse material, also known as CSAM.
The police and the prosecutors want to give an acronym to everything. Now it's called CSAM. So from now on, we're going to call it CSAM. We're going to go right along with YouTube China and these dirty prosecutors. The truth is that half of these cops are just like this dirty pig. Do I think half of them have CSAM? Not half. Oh man, we are living through it. We really are. We're seeing the worst of the worst play out right in front of us.
Age difficult material, meaning the individuals appear to be underage, but this can't be confirmed. And child erotica, images where children are clothed or partially clothed. Prosecutors also point to software to hide the downloads and searches with code words
that are very graphic and that are very clearly directed towards the pursuit of CSAM material, and some of which reference specific websites.
Menon's own attorney, Dominic Gentile, conceding in court 2 images do contain hardcore 2 girls who appear to be underage, but insisting Menon is no flight risk. He asks for a $10,000 bail instead of the $250,000 requested by prosecutors.
$250,000 all-cash bail is sinful.
Menon already indicted on 13 charges related to alleged illegal stops on the Las Vegas Strip.
When you take a look at him, you just have to remember, at one time, this guy right here you would have been told that he was salt of the earth and that you should respect him, that he's a good officer. He's very intense and he toes the thin blue line. Take a look at what a psycho looks like. You can see it in the eyes. At one time, you would have been told that this is a good man that you can trust, that this guy is there to help you and look out for you. If you asked him why he joined the pig department, he would tell you, I signed up to help people. Meanwhile, he's got CSAM on his laptop.
The likelihood of conviction on his first case is extraordinarily high, and there are felonies, and there are gross misdemeanors. But now you compound it with, while at play, this is what he's doing in his off time?
Judge Nadia Wood setting the $100,000 cash bail.
Was entrusted with a lot of power by the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police.
Metro Police tell Vanessa that right now he is in isolated protective custody because he is an officer.
He's an officer? Really? Are you sure about that? He doesn't look like an officer to me. He looks like a psychopath who sets people up, and he has CSAM on his computer. Your arms go to a touchdown position. That's how your arms do it. Your arms go to a touchdown position. You see this arm elbow bend right there? Phone's at the top of it. There's the top of the goalpost. There's the other side of the goalpost. Now I've got a touchdown position. Copper can't say I was reaching. Copper can't say nada. I had my license, registration, proof of insurance ready to go along with a copy of my driver. I'm a black man today named Denzel Washington. I had everything ready to go for the jackboot thug pig. I had everything ready to go. License, registration, proof of insurance, everything was together on a laminated card. I already laminated it. I took my time to do it because I don't want this jackboot thug pig to have any kind of power over me. I gave you everything I have to give you required by law. Leave me alone at that point. I'm not gonna play the game of why'd you pull me over. I'm not gonna play the game of do you know how fast I was going. No, 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 no. We've seen time and time and time again that you end up going in torture cuffs, that you end up going to jail. You have to use the trifold. Then the cop says, you know what? I want to search your car. And you say, okay, sure, you can search my car. And then you get out of the car. And then you turn around and you pull your trifold out and you say, you know what, I revoke consent. If I can give consent, then I can revoke consent. I revoke consent on camera. Now, from the 1914 case of Weeks called the exclusionary rule, he can no longer search. He has to stop searching. Anything he finds after the search, after you revoke consent, is no longer admissible in a court of law. If you have it on camera, doesn't matter what you have in your car after that point. You gave consent, he took your consent, used your consent, you revoked that consent, and then he searched your car anyway. It's now the exclusionary rule. No longer can he use it. Fruit of the Poisonous Tree from 1961, Mapp versus Ohio.